Liverpool 4, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Um, there was a period where it looked like it was going to be 6 or 7-0, but to be fair to Spurs, they did come into it towards the end when Richarlison and Maddison came on. I do actually think Richarlison's actually underrated. I used to think he was crap, but when you actually watch him closely, you actually see that he's actually a pretty good player, or decent to say the least. I'd say he's better than Jackson and Højlund, and at a similar level to Nunes, because when he came on, Spurs looked more threatening, and there was one chance where he had a good chance. I think it was 4-2, and if he scored, it would have been 4-3. Got a bit unlucky, but it was a good save from Alisson. But the thing is with Spurs, yeah, they need to get rid of like these crap players like Brendan Johnson and Skip. Both of those players are not top 6 level. They're like clubs for like fighting for like 14th, 10th, like places like that. They're not like clubs. They're not like clubs levels of that are going for like top 4 or like league titles or anything like that. They're just not good enough for that level. So if I was Spurs, I'd sell Johnson and Skip because they're not good enough for this level. And I'd even like maybe argue that Johnson would be championship level because he's crap. And Skip's not much better either. But I don't get why Spurs didn't start Maddison. Because when Maddison and Richarlison came on, they did more than what half the Spurs players that actually started the game did in the entire game. And that's not acceptable. Harvey Elliott scored a world-class goal, don't get me wrong, but 3 goals, in my personal opinion, were Vicario's fault. Because the first one, Salah, he should have got... he should have saved it, really. Got a lot onto it, but somehow it still went in. The second one, he parried it straight out to Robertson. And the third one, he didn't get down quick enough. So, I do think Vicario's overrated. I've been saying that for a long time as well, because he's been making a lot of mistakes in this second half of the season. And a lot of people are saying that he's the goalkeeper of the season. But I personally don't think he is. I'd say Alisson's had a better season, Ederson's had a better season, David Raya's had a better season. And I think his season's been overrated by a lot of people. Tottenham related and non-Tottenham related as well. I think he's overrated. But I think Spurs, they need to get a player like Ivan Toney or Dusan Vlahovic and get like more squad depth in, because Spurs' starting 11's actually pretty good. It's just that they have the odd couple of players in the squad that's not good enough, like the likes of Skip, Lo Celso, Brendan Johnson. They need to get like elite quality players in the squad, because that's what I don't think they have enough of. Because I rate Maddison, I rate Son, Richarlison's not that bad, Pedro Porro's alright, but Romero I don't think is good enough. They need a proper centre-back partnership for Van de Ven, and left back. I don't think they're particularly good there. Kulusevski could do more as well. He's a good player on his day, Kulusevski, but he doesn't have the consistency. But as for Liverpool, I don't think they played that well today. I just think Spurs in the first half didn't make the most out of the possession, because they had loads of possession in the first half, Spurs, but they only had 1 shot. And I think Liverpool had like 13 or something like that. And if you want to make your possession count. You need to be creating chances. And I don't get why Maddison and Richarlison only got brought on when they were 4-0 down. I think Ange Postecoglou did get it quite wrong tactically today, because I think if he'd have put them on maybe when it was like 2 or 3-0, then maybe they might have had a small chance of grabbing a draw out of the game. But because they came on at 4-0, there's very little they could do to change the game around. But I think if Spurs get like more like squad depth quality into the squad, then they could be maybe a top 3 side next season. Because I think Spurs' first 11's good. It's just that because their squad depth's not as good as like some other teams around these European like spot areas, that's why since like the beginning of the season they've faded off a bit. That's what I meant to say. But it looks like Aston Villa have got top 4. They lost today, but I'm assuming that they're going to get it now. But I think next season is going to be a good season. Again, I think Arsenal and City are the only teams, in my personal opinion, that I'd say are 100% getting top 4 next season. The rest of the league, in terms of the top 4 next season, could literally be anyone's to get into the top 4 should they have a good season. I think Newcastle will get back up there next season. I'm not sure whether Villa will be as good, and depending on what the situation is with the United and the manager will depend where they are next season. I think Liverpool I'm not sure with next season, because I'm unsure how they're going to adapt to Klopp. I think they will get top 4 next season, Liverpool, but I can see them coming 3rd or 4th. I can't see them coming top like 2 or in the title race. I think they will get top 4, but it won't be as comfortable top 4 compared to this season. I think it'll be quite a bit more tighter. But 5th spot this season is wide open, because you've got Newcastle not too far away from 5th. Chelsea are circling around 5th. United somehow are still in the race for 5th. So 5th spot is interesting. Obviously, because of how the British clubs have done in Europe compared to like the non-British clubs, with them doing better, it means that the 5th spot won't be going to an English club. So the 5th place team will go into the Europa League and not the Champions League. So that should be interesting. I reckon Spurs should still come 5th, even if they don't come 4th. But Chelsea, if they can maintain this winning form of like recent weeks, and if United can somehow keep grinding out results, and if Newcastle can somehow keep getting wins as well, then maybe there's a possibility that one of those teams could come above Spurs and into that 5th spot. But thank you for watching this video. Go and vote on my community post from earlier about Pep Guardiola staying or not, which is there's a vote where you can say that you think he's going to stay, and there's a vote where you think that he's going to leave if you put no. But also go check out my video from earlier when I was putting on, like, I think it was like 14 shirts or something like that in the end. That's on like 10 views. So if you can view that and like that video, as well as liking this video and subscribing and sharing, I'd be massively appreciated with that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.